Good morning, students. In today front-end design tool VB.NET, in the unit 2, we will discuss what is variables, commands, and data type. So, introduction to VB.NET programming. We will discuss similarities and differences with Visual Basic, variables, commands, data types, etc. So first of all, we will see similarities and difference with Visual Basic. VB.NET, it stands for Visual Basic Network Enables Technology. It is also developed by Microsoft, and this language was based on the .NET framework. Furthermore, it is specially designed for VB developers. Visual Basic, it is a programming language developed by Microsoft for the fastest development of a Windows-based operating system as well as applications. VB is the predecessor of VB.NET and was not an object-oriented language, so it is not actively maintained and it is not, accepted. VB.NET is a modern, fully object-oriented language that replaced Visual Basic language, that replaced VB6. Visual Basic uses the VB runtime environment. However, a VB.NET uses the common language runtime component of .NET framework at runtime. It has better features and design implementation as compared to VB runtime. Visual Basic, it is an interpreter-based language. However, VB.NET, it is a compiled language. This is the difference. Visual Basic, interpreter-based language, and VB.NET is a compiled language. Visual Basic, it supports backward compatibility. It does not support backward compatibility. VB.NET does not support backward compatibility. VB.NET, it is a type safe language. However, in Visual Basic, it is not a type safe language. In Visual Basic .NET, data is handled using the ADO.NET protocol. Mean to say for database handling, we are using the ADO.NET protocol. However, in data connectivity and handling in Visual Basics are DAO, RDO, and ADO, ActiveX Data Object Protocols. So these we are using in Visual Basic, and in VB.NET we are using ADO.NET. In Visual Basic, the object support default property of Visual Basics. Object does not support default property of in VB.NET. In Visual Basic, most of the parameters are passed by reference, but in the VB.NET, parameters are passed by a default value. In Visual Basic, it does not support the multi-thread concept, but VB.NET supports the multi-threaded application can be developed in Visual Basic.NET. So these are the differences in this. Now we will discuss variables. So as you know, variables are used to hold some value. So you declare in Visual Basic.NET or as in VB also. If you want to declare a variable, you can declare a variable with the help of the dim keyword. So you declare a variable to specify its name and characteristics. The declaration statement for variable is the dim statement. Its location and contents determine the variable's characteristics. Declaration labels, local and member variables. A local variable is one that is declared within a procedure. A variable which is declared within a procedure or function, that is called a local variable, or a member variable is a member of a Visual Basic type. It is declared at module level inside a class, structure or module, but not within the procedure. Okay, so that is called a member variable or module. Shared and instance variable. In a class or structure, the category of a member variable depends on whether or not it is shared. If it is declared with the shared keyword, it is a shared variable, and it exists in a single copy shared among all instances of the class or structure, that it is called a shared variable. Otherwise, it is an instance variable, and a separate copy of it is created for each instance of the class or structure. Mean to say, for instance variable, you have a separate copy for each, and for shared, you have only one copy of that. A given copy of an instance variable is available only to the instance of the class or structure in which it was created. It is independent of a copy of the instance variable. Okay. Now variables in VB.NET. Now just see, to create a new variable, declare the variable in a dim statement. Like suppose here, if we wish to create a variable new customer, so we will write dim new customer. And if we are creating a variable with the help of the public or static words, then we will just write public static new customer. In that case, we will not write dim. Follow the name with the as clause to specify the variable's data type. Suppose to specify the data type, we are using as. Suppose we are writing dim new customer as integer, let's say. So follow the name with the as clause to specify the variable's data type. Public static new customer as customer. If you do not specify the data type, it is uses the default category, and in the default category it is object. By default in VB.NET, data type is of object type. To create a variable that does not change in value, so at module level, declare a member variable with the dim statement and include the read-only keyword. Suppose dim read-only time started. So it will be, work as a constant. Dim read-only time started as date equals to now. Putting data in a variable, now we can, as in the other languages, we can do alpha. Suppose alpha is a variable, then beta multiplied by 6.27 divided by gamma plus 2. In this way, we will getting the variable data. Getting data from a variable, suppose a variable counter equals to start value or is a counter value 0. Now we are adding or incrementing some this counter value, then this value will be changing. That will be the cell value. Comments, we are just putting a single quotes to make a comment. Suppose this is a comment beginning at the left edge of the screen. Text1.text equals to hi. This is an inline comment. So comment, for comment, you just simply put a single comma, like the single quote rather than, so just to make a comment. For just making a comment, you should remember the following things. Number one, every important variable declaration should be preceded by a comment describing the use of the variable being declared. Variables, controls, and procedures should be named clearly through that enough that commenting is needed only for complex implementation details. Comment, cannot follow a line continuation sequence of the same. Now we will discuss data type. In VB.NET, data type is used to define the type of a variable or function in a program. Furthermore, the conversion of one data type to another type using the data conversion function. A data type refers to which type of data or value is assigning to a variable or function so that a variable can hold a defined data type value. For example, when we declare a variable, we have to tell the compiler what type of data or value is allocated to different kinds of variables to hold different amounts of space in computer memory. Now let's see, here we have written dim variable name as data type. So there are different types of data types in VB.NET. Let's say first we will see Boolean, integer, string, and so on. So Boolean variables are stored 16-bit numbers or 2 bytes, and it can hold only true or false. VB.NET runtime type system.boolean, VB.NET declaration dim check as Boolean. Check is a variable is of type Boolean. And initialization, let's say we will initialize the value of check is equals to false or true, whatever we are initialized. So default initialization value here is false. Let's say another data type, that is the integer, is variables are stored 32-bit integer value in the range of -2 147 So VB.NET runtime type is system.int32. Dim counts as integer and the default initialization value is 0. So there are different data types like you have seen boolean, integer, now the string. String variable are stored any number of alphanumeric, numerical and special characters. Its range is from 0 to approximately 2 billion Unicode characters. VB.NET runtime type system.string. Let's say str is a string. String we have assigned string test in this string. So Vue.NET default initializing value equals to nothing. In Visual Basic.NET, we can convert a data type in two ways. We can convert a data type in two ways. No one. One is called the implicit conversion and another is called the explicit conversion. Also, we can convert a type value to a reference and reference value to a type value. So when we are converting a value type to a reference type, this is called boxing. And when we are converting a reference type to a value type, this is called unboxing. So boxing and unboxing are two important topics in this. Boxing refers value type to reference types and unboxing refers type to reference type to value type. Now we will see implicit and explicit conversion. Implicit conversion performs automatically in VB.NET. That is, the compiler is taking care of the conversion. So the following, I mean to say, if you are converting from large data type to the lower data type, then it is converted by the compiler itself, and it is called implicit conversion. Let's say in this case we will converting a double data type to integer. So from larger data type to lower data type we are going, so it will be done automatically, or it is called implicit conversion. In the first line we are assigning IDVL as double data type and int as integer type, and we are assigning value IDVL 9.123 and it will print the value of this. Now what we are doing, int, this double value is assigning in an integer value, so it will be in the next message of when we are printing the value of the integer, it will print 9 rather than 9.123. So it is implicit conversion took place here. In the explicit type conversion, in some cases we have to perform conversion, that is the compiler does not automatically convert a type to another. This type of conversion is called explicit conversion, and explicit conversion uses a type conversion keyword. With these conversion keyword, we have to perform the explicit conversion. And there is a list, or you can see the table of data types, required space, value range. These all are given here. Now you can see this is the boolean data types. Its value range is true or false. Byte took 1 byte. Its value range is 0 to 255. Character, it took 2 bytes. Its range from 0 to 65535. Date, it took 8 bytes. And similarly, decimal is also there. It will take 16 bytes. Its range from 0 to something like this. Double, it took 8 bytes and its range are there. You can see integer, it also took 32 bytes. Long, 8 bytes. Object, S byte, short byte, it will take 1 byte, short is 2 bytes, single is 4 bytes, string is 4 bytes. So in this way, long, unsigned long, it took 8 bytes. Structure, a user defined data type depends on the implementing platform. Unsigned short, it will take 2 bytes. So in this way, these are some references. So thanks. In the next topic, we will discuss working with data structure, array, array list, enumeration, constant, and structures. Okay. So thanks. Now here I'm stopping.